I was running late to my own bridal shower because I'd been helping my mother with her chemotherapy. When I arrived, my sister-in-law handed me a drink and whispered, "Don't worry, we filled everyone in on your sob story." I laughed it off until I heard my mother-in-law toast, "Here's to no more excuses. This family expects strength." The crowd applauded. My husband raised his glass. I sat there, smiling, while they erased every part of me that mattered. I was supposed to be glowing that day. That's what they tell you, right? That bridal showers are where you laugh with your bridesmaids, eat cake, open gifts, and feel loved. But that day? That was the day I saw clearly. The day I realized I was marrying into a family that didn't just dislike me, they didn't even see me as human. Let me back up. My name's Rachel. I was 31. I had been engaged to Travis for 6 months, dating him for almost 3 years. On paper, things looked great. He had a good job, we lived in a little place in Walnut Creek, and we were planning a fall wedding in Napa. But beneath all that, I was exhausted. My mom had been diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer 6 months before our engagement, and everything shifted. She was the strong one in our family. My dad died when I was 15, and it was just the two of us after that. She worked 2 jobs to keep me in school, skipped vacations to pay off my tuition, and still made time to cheer me on at every big moment. So when she got sick, there wasn't a question in my mind. I was going to be there for her every appointment, every chemo session, every moment of fear and pain. I owed her that, and so much more. Travis said he understood. At first, he really did. He'd bring takeout to the hospital, pick me up from my mom's house when I was too tired to drive. But after a while, I noticed the shift. The way he'd look at his watch when I told him I was going to miss dinner again. The way he stopped asking how my mom was doing. The way he started calling her your situation. His family never liked me much. From day one, they were cold. His mom, Claudette, was the worst. She'd ask passive-aggressive questions like, "What exactly do you do with your time now that your mom's sick?" Or, "Are you planning to cry during the wedding too, or just on regular days?" I let it slide. I wanted to believe I was marrying Travis, not his family. That was my mistake. The morning of the bridal shower, I was at the hospital. My mom had just finished another round of chemo, and she was shaking, vomiting, barely able to sit up. I helped her dress, wrapped a blanket around her shoulders, and got her into my car. She kept saying, "Go, honey. Don't miss your party." And I kept saying, "You're my party." I didn't leave her side until she was stable and asleep in her bed. I got to the shower an hour late. It was held at a vineyard in Livermore, one of those places with picture-perfect rows of grapevines and expensive floral arrangements. I was sweating, my dress was wrinkled, and my makeup had faded. I knew I looked tired. I was tired. I walked in and saw everyone already seated. My future in-laws, my bridesmaids, people from Travis's side I barely knew. Olivia, Travis's sister, was the first to greet me. She didn't even say hi, just handed me a mimosa and said, "Don't worry, we filled everyone in on your sob story." I stared at her, thought maybe I'd misheard. "What?" "You know about your mom's cancer thing. Everyone knows why you were late. You're off the hook." I forced a smile. My hands were trembling. I tried to settle and act normal, but then Claudette stood up. She raised her glass, looked around the room like she was the damn queen of something, and said, "To Rachel, our soon-to-be daughter-in-law. May this marriage bring her strength. No more excuses. This family expects strength." They laughed. They clapped. Travis clinked his glass to hers. My own fiancé. I didn't move. I didn't speak. I just stared at them. My cheeks burned, but I smiled like I was supposed to. That was the moment. The exact second I knew. They didn't care about me. They didn't want to know who I was or what I was going through. They didn't want a daughter-in-law. They wanted a prop. So I decided something then and there. They wanted strength? I'd give it to them. But not in the way they thought. I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to scream. I was going to take everything they handed me and turn it back on them, one step at a time. This was no longer about a wedding. This was going to be a reckoning. After the bridal shower, I went straight back to my mom's house. I didn't even take off my heels. I just walked in, sat on the floor next to her recliner, and cried quietly while she slept. She looked so small under that blanket. Her hands used to be so strong. Now they were shaking just to hold a cup of tea. I watched her chest rise and fall. Then I made myself a promise. No one was going to shame me for loving this woman. Not Travis. Not Claudette. Not Olivia. Not anyone. I didn't tell my mom what happened. She had enough to carry. But something in me hardened that night. The next few weeks were a blur of wedding plans and hospital visits. Travis stopped coming with me to appointments. Said it was too much negativity. He started coming home late, said it was work. I stopped asking questions. I already knew the answers. Then things got worse. One night, I found a message on his iPad. He left it open on the couch when he went to shower. It was a text thread with someone named Cass. The messages were months old. Flirty at first, then explicit. Pictures. Voice notes. He'd been seeing someone behind my back, even while I was sitting in hospital rooms praying my mom wouldn't die. I didn't cry. I read every word, every emoji, every I miss you and she doesn't get it. I screenshotted everything and emailed it to myself. Then I put the iPad back and waited. That weekend, we were supposed to meet with the caterer and the florist. I smiled through it, took notes, agreed with everything. Then that night, I told Travis I wanted to push the wedding back a month. He frowned.
Why?
I just want everything to be perfect, I said.
For us.
For your family. He smiled and kissed my forehead. That's why I love you, he said. You think about everyone. I wanted to scream in his face, but I didn't. Instead, I called his cousin Monica, the only one in his family who ever seemed halfway decent. I asked if she'd meet me for coffee.
She said yes.
We sat down at a little diner on Main Street, and I slid my phone across the table. Read these, I said. She scrolled. Her face went pale. That bastard, she whispered. I need your help, I said. She looked up. With what? I smiled.
A surprise.
Monica agreed without hesitation. Turns out, she'd never liked Travis either. He's always been a snake, she said, stirring her coffee. You're just the only one who didn't see it yet. I told her I needed two things. Her silence and her presence. When the time comes, I said, just make sure you're standing close to Olivia and Claudette. And record everything. She nodded slowly. You're going through with the wedding? I'm going through with the day, I said. But it won't end the way they expect. Over the next few weeks, I played the role. I smiled through dress fittings. I picked centerpieces. I laughed with Olivia like she hadn't stabbed me in the ribs with her words. I even thanked Claudette for her support. The whole time I kept visiting my mom. She knew something was off but didn't press. I think she trusted me to handle it. Or maybe she just didn't want to make me carry any more than I already was. Then, 2 weeks before the wedding, Travis surprised me with a gift. A bracelet. Cheap, silver-plated, clearly rushed. He handed it to me in a paper bag while we were eating Chinese takeout. No card. No note. You've been amazing, he said, barely looking up from his phone. This is just to say, thanks. I looked at it, then at him. Where'd you get it? He shrugged. Target, I think. That was the moment I knew he didn't love me. Not even a little. The day of the wedding came fast. I didn't sleep the night before. I sat in my old room at my mom's place, watching her sleep. She was too weak to come to the wedding now. I told her I understood. She cried anyway. I hugged her and whispered, I'll make you proud. I arrived at the venue early. The vineyard looked beautiful, just like the bridal shower. Pale green and peach everywhere. Monica met me outside the bridal suite with coffee and a burner phone. You sure? She asked. More than ever, I said. I had 3 copies of the screenshots printed and sealed in envelopes. One for Claudette, one for Olivia, and one for the officiant, Travis's uncle, who they all worshipped like some small-town preacher. Before the ceremony, I told the wedding planner to hold everything 10 minutes. Family tradition, I said. Private moment before the vows. I walked into the groom's suite with a smile on my face. Travis was already half-dressed, laughing with his groomsmen. He turned and grinned. Hey, babe. What are you? I tossed the burner phone onto the table. Press play, I said. He frowned, picked it up, and hit play. It was his voice. Yeah, she's always crying about her mom. I feel like I'm dating a cancer patient, not a fiancé. The room went quiet. His face drained. Where did you? Doesn't matter, I said. You had your fun. I'm having mine. I turned and walked out. Outside, Monica had already handed out the envelopes. I watched from the bridal suite as Claudette opened hers. Her face twisted. Olivia gasped. The officiant's hands shook as he read the messages. Then Travis came running out looking wild. Rachel, he shouted.
We can talk about this.
I stepped onto the patio where all the guests were seated. Took the mic from the DJ.
My voice was calm.
There's no wedding today, I said. There was going to be, but then I realized I was marrying a liar, a cheater, and a coward.
Gasps.
Whispers. I scanned the crowd. To those of you who clapped at my pain, toasted to strength like I wasn't already bleeding on the inside, this is for you. You want strong? Here it is. I'm not marrying into this family. I'm walking away with my dignity intact. I dropped the mic. Monica grabbed my hand. We walked out together. Behind me, I could hear Travis yelling, Claudette sobbing, Olivia cursing. It was chaos. And it was beautiful. I didn't look back. I walked straight to Monica's car, still in my wedding dress, holding my heels in one hand and my phone in the other. When we pulled out of the vineyard parking lot, I saw Claudette pacing like a maniac, Olivia throwing her hands in the air, Travis just standing there, frozen. I didn't cry. Not once. We drove to my mom's house. I wanted her to be the first to know. When she saw me at the door, still dressed up but with a calm look on my face, she knew something had happened. Sweetheart, she whispered. No wedding, I said. But I finally stood up for myself. She nodded, slow but proud. Her lips shook a little. She reached out her hand, and I sat next to her, my head on her shoulder like when I was a kid. We stayed like that for hours.
Quiet.
Safe. The fallout was fast and ugly. First came the voicemails from Travis. Long ones, angry ones, tearful ones. He begged, then blamed, then begged again. I didn't answer any. I changed my number, blocked him on everything. Then Claudette emailed me, not to apologize.
No.
She accused me of destroying their family image and humiliating a good man. I sent one sentence back. Tell that to Cass. Olivia posted something on Facebook, a long rant about manipulative women who weaponize victimhood. I didn't reply. Monica sent screenshots to my friends and family instead. That post cost Olivia her job. She was a marketing manager at a nonprofit. Turns out, her employer didn't love public slander. I found out later that Travis and Cass didn't last 2 months. She dumped him after the messages went viral in their friend group. Guess she didn't like being the other woman after all. Monica told me that at the next family reunion, Claudette tried to spin the story like I had a mental break. But by then, too many people had seen the truth. Claudette's own sister told her to shut up and called her a disgrace. As for me, I stayed quiet. I focused on my mom. She made it another 9 months. We spent every single day together. We laughed, watched old movies, baked when she had energy, and cried when she didn't. And when she passed, I was holding her hand. That was the last time I cried. It's been a year since then. I moved to Seattle. Got a new job at a local publishing office. I don't talk about Travis. I don't need to. People like him rot on their own. I've had men ask me out, but I'm not ready. Or maybe I just don't want to share my piece yet. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I went through with the wedding. If I smiled through it, stayed silent, played the part. Maybe I'd still be married to someone who didn't care if I lived or died. Maybe I'd be invisible forever. But instead, I burned it down.
And you know what?
That was the day I saved myself.
No regrets. Not one. The end.